I invite you to come with me on a journey of discovery and movement. The first movement, I'm getting ready to dance. I lace up my shoes and I approach the floor. I experience a shift. I'm entering into a new world. The adrenaline that anticipates what's about to happen. Memories of past performances. Memories of shared moments between myself and my mentors. They all begin to surface. I can feel them in my body. I've done this a lot. Ever since my first performance at 3.5 years old. I've laced up my shoes countless times. For me, tap dance sits at the intersection between communal oral tradition, commercial skill, and artistic expression. It's a cultural form that's found popularity in the market and encourages the expression of individual voices through creation, interpretation, and improvisation. As it happens, entrance into the world of tap dance is a journey of discovery. Thankfully, I've had many guides, teachers, and mentors along the way. Mr. Chris was the first one to show me that I could make sounds with my body, rhythms with my feet. Savion Glover was the first to challenge my thoughts and imagination as to what tap dancing could be, with complex rhythms, movements, and ideas. And Gregory Hines gently guided me as I learned to connect my dancing with my thoughts and my feelings. I learned what kind of dancing would come out of me if I was happy and joyful, melancholy and distraught, or frustrated and angry. I was a good student. I got things right. I stayed in the favor of my teachers and my mentors. This happened for years, under many, many teachers and mentors. As I grew, every one of them, like a signpost or a guardrail, keeping me on the straight and narrow path towards goodness in the world of tap dance land. As I grew, I had to navigate my life as a freelance performer, performing, making shows, teaching, receiving critical acclaim and awards, making projects. I had my fair share of ups and downs, but it was many more ups than downs. After all, I could say that I was living life as a professional tap dancer. I thought it was a good life, until it all came to a screeching halt. The second movement. In the fall of 2018, I decided to take a job as the leader of an international tap dance organization. It was a high-profile move, a top role in the tap dance world. I was hoping for a little bit more stability than my freelance life had provided, and I was excited about the challenges and potential growth that the role posed. Within a year, I hit a wall. Some call it burnout. I call it my wall. I wasn't just tired. My world was in crisis. Relationships in my personal life, with my family, and with work all broke at the same time. I took 3 days off just to try and find a reset button. I spent them in a room, alone, without my phone. I was quick to cry, my body would shake, and I couldn't think of anything other than what was happening. I did remember a friend sharing, "Burnout isn't driving a car without gas. It's driving a car without oil." And my engine was seizing. Now wait a minute. I was supposed to be the good student, getting things right. And this definitely was not right. Something was amiss. And the only common factor between all the relationships that were breaking was me. It seemed that something was amiss in me, not the realization that I was hoping for. Who would I become? What kind of person allows their entire life to dislodge so dramatically? I wanted answers. I reached out for counseling and began a new journey. Third movement. Every human being exists in two worlds, the visible and the invisible. The visible world is the world that we see around us. It's shaped by the consequences of our communal actions. The invisible world encompasses our inner worlds, and we each have an inner world. Our personalities, wills, desires, thoughts, and feelings are all there. Our values and worldviews that mediate our actions with the world around us, that is how we relate to each other, they're there too. Every part of our inner world interacts with every other part and with the visible world. And they're all continually being formed. In order to rebuild my life, I had to take a journey of discovery into my inner world. I had to take account for the person that I had become. What I found was a mess. I had picked up so many ideas, so many memories, so many expectations along the way, and they were all there, entangled, fighting for prominence and space. Everything was interconnected and unsettled, and I didn't know how to make peace with it all. It was in this moment that I met a new guide. I first met Dallas Willard through his book, The Spirit of the Disciplines. Dallas was a philosopher and a teacher. He considered himself to be a follower of Jesus Christ, as I did. He expressed the power of the arts, the possibility of human transformation, and the importance of choice, all things that resonated deeply with me. As I watched videos of Dallas, his soft voice and kind disposition were inviting to me even as I was hurting. Dallas liked to pose 4 great questions of life. What is real? What is the good life? Who is a really good person? And how does one become a really good person? These questions probe at the answers that we hold for what we believe about the world around us, what we aim for, and how we think we can get there. We all have answers to these questions, and our actions reflect the answers that we carry. As I heard the questions for the first time, I asked myself, well, what are my answers? Moving forward, it turns out I hadn't actually thought about my answers to these questions until I heard them stated so concisely. I had some, to be sure, but they were buried in the mess of my inner world. And so I had to start there, digging in the mess for the answers that I had. What did I really believe about the world around me, good people, and the good life? What could my actions tell me about what I really believed? I then took a look at the people and cultures around me. What external influences had impacted what I believed? This included family, friends, colleagues, even the media. Finally, I revisited my faith tradition. I consider myself a follower of Jesus Christ, and it turns out he had a lot to say about these questions. The answers that we carry to these questions are immensely personal. We own them. We act on them. We eventually become an expression of them. And we all have them. Maybe they're unaccounted for like mine were, taken for granted, buried in a mess or distraction. Maybe they've been formed on account of life experiences, or maybe with specific intention. Regardless, the answers are important. Articulating them is really important. And taking the journey of discovery into our inner worlds will help unveil our answers. The answers that we hold point to the people that we're going to become. And who we become is our greatest contribution to the world. My own journey has taken me back to timeless wisdom, the wonder of human personality, the transformational power of love, the possibility of goodness, the reality of the unseen. Along the way, I've learned some things, I've made some choices, and I've experienced change. I've learned that my personality, circumstances, and training all made the possibility of burnout one very likely for me. I had been formed with a high-achieving orientation that made hitting my wall almost an inevitability. But inevitability is not the end of the story. I've made a dramatic choice to prioritize this journey, the journey of discovery into my inner world, of who I am becoming above all others. In the midst of my day-to-day, I think about how my inner world is being formed, and I make choices as best I can for its good. I found answers to Dallas's 4 questions in the teachings and person of Jesus Christ that have put my inner world at peace. They're simple and concise, answers that I can remember, test, and I've found them to be trustworthy. As I've acted on these answers, I've experienced a change. My normal pace of action is slower. It's less hurried. My normal desire for immediate answers, solutions, and results is diminished. My ability to care for myself is increased. I can even say I'm learning how to rest, developing a habit of doing nothing on a regular basis. I feel grounded in the best possible way. I feel like I'm tasting the good life. I'm actually, first, the changes that I've experienced have come quickly, and that's not always the case. I am a work in progress, and I can still feel the consequences of hitting my wall. But I am deeply involved with my own transformation on a day-to-day basis. I'm surrounded by healthy, imperfect community. I have rebuilt relationships with my family, and I have a new approach to work. These all support the journey. I'm actually excited about who I may become. And I'm excited for others too. I figure if I have made the journey, others can. Whether we've hit a wall, are overwhelmed, or are hurting, it's not the end of the story. Who we are becoming is the end of the story. And who we become is our greatest contribution to the world. Thank you.